the train. It's 10:03 on the fan. It's the Tiki and Tierney show.
BT.
Yes.
Let's get back to something that we talked about a couple of days ago. Aaron Judge.
Tiki's getting right to it.
Not getting right to it.
Look at this guy, right to it.
I just thought about this. Actually, Dove helped me think about this yesterday. And I thought about it all day yesterday. Did the Yankees regret signing Aaron Judge to a 9-year, $360 million contract? Do they already regret it? Because think about this for a second. This is what everyone feared outside the Yankees or even inside the Yankees, because we don't know if it was necessarily inside. But when they said you sign Judge to this big deal, you're risking an injury from regretting it. And if they had done it, and crazy enough, before arbitration ran out, they would have saved themselves $100 million. So by going as long as they did, it forced it, and he had the season that he had, $360 million. 1 year in, not even half a year in, the Yankees are saying, oh, crap. Oh, crap. What did we do? And I only say that because this isn't like a hamate bone break. It's not a, strained quad. This is a ligament in his toe that doesn't seem to be getting better, despite what Brett Boone said, and that he would be back shortly after the All-Star break. And it could forever change his career. I'm not being an alarmist. I'm just saying. No, not at all. I'm just saying, when you have that specific injury, it could have been his pinky toe. We'd be fine. He could have cut his pinky toe off. He'd have been fine. His big right toe, which is the anchor to his swing, is compromised, damaged, maybe irreparably. Do the Yankees regret signing Aaron Judge to a $360 million deal? And in year one, he jacks himself up and is likely going to be unavailable for the short term and maybe for the long term. That is the rest of this season. Even if it's in the deepest recesses of my brain, and I'll never say it publicly as a Yankee official, whether that's Hal or Cash or whoever, they have to be having some regret about this because we don't know how Aaron Judge is going to respond to this injury, this specific injury, the right big toe, a ligament tear. They have to have some sort of
I got a couple of questions before I actually answer this. Number one, did Carton completely clean out his office? Is it completely?
I don't know. I don't know.
I don't think
so,
it is.
Because
I know. I thought there was a few things left.
Maybe.
I asked that because if he left some whiskey, because he's got all that good stuff, somebody go get a bottle, because if I've got to talk about this for 4 hours, I've got to be drunk to do it.
Saquon's going to get in the way. Don't worry.
Yeah, we'll get to Saquon later. You might need some shots for that conversation if he doesn't show up. All right, so I would just like to remind you, Tiki.
Yes.
It's 10:06.
Yes.
It's Thursday.
It is.
It's the penultimate show that we're doing together.
Yes.
You couldn't save this question for Evan?
Nope.
I mean,
I need it for you, man.
All right. So you want me to answer this seriously?
Seriously. I want you to seriously think about this. I'm not saying
don't need to think about it. The
saying
answer is no.
I'm not saying that anybody in the Yankees are ever going to say this publicly, or even fans might. But I don't know if anyone inside the Yankees will ever say this.
Of course they won't.
But could you imagine in 2 years or 3 years, Judge is just never quite the same?
Okay.
And you start getting these little leaks, these little, I heard from a guy inside the grapevine that they regretted doing the deal.
Well, at that point, yes, I get. Yeah, yes. At that point, I can push it forward. If Aaron Judge the next couple of years is like 247 with 21 home runs and 69 RBIs, jeez, they'll be completely unwatchable at that point because he's missed, a swath of game. That, of course, that's going to come up. But you know what else is going to come up? Insurance.
Yeah, I don't
insurance.
But I'm not even
Aaron, remember that when he got hurt? This is crazy. When he got hurt that Saturday night against the Dodgers.
Yep, that's right. Maybe he'll play on Sunday.
Yeah. But when he didn't play Sunday, that's when I was worried.
Yeah.
Because it was a national game, and it was, he was in such a role. I'm like, ugh. All right. And then and then they had an off day the next day, if I recollect. And then I'm like, okay.
Yes, on Monday.
Yeah. I'm like, if he's not playing Sunday, and then he was already ruled out I'm like, this is obviously highly problematic. Yankees have a big issue on their hand. And I said then that he would not be back before the All-Star break. So I've been worried about this for a while. But I also said it was kind of in jest, like, Aaron Judge, can he sue the city of Los Angeles?
Yeah.
Remember I said that?
Yes, I do remember that.
Okay.
Yeah, you definitely said it in jest.
Yeah. But somewhat rooted in legal, like I was
There's liability.
genuinely curious.
Yes, there's actual liability.
If that was a plausible route,
Yeah,
given the circumstances.
I know what you're saying.
He was asked, or his camp was asked about 4 or 5 days ago whether or not legal action was a legitimate avenue. And they shot it down, and I'm glad that they did. Maybe you do that quietly down the road if you have to. But, like, to answer your question here, and I understand why you're asking. I mean, I think it's ridiculous to have any sort of fear or buyer's remorse now. But, like, if he can't play, they will recover the money.
I know that, but they don't recover Aaron Judge.
But then you take the money and you get somebody else.
Yeah, okay, the next Aaron Judge, he's playing tight end somewhere in the NFL, or he's a power forward in the G League or something. Right? There isn't another.
No,
Aaron
I understand
Judge.
that, but I also think that, like, let's say that the Yankees were smarter about this, and like we think the Mets should do with Alonso, preemptively address the contract, buy out some ARB, and they save, $80 or $90 million. Even if his contract, what is it, 345, whatever, what's the total deal?
340 something like
340
that.
change, right?
Yeah, 340, yeah.
Even if it was for 268, a year and a half or so ago, and he still got hurt, you'd still, like, there's nothing you can do about it.
I understand that.
You can't do anything about it.
But they made him the highest paid baseball position player, not obviously pitcher, because the pitchers are making a ton more money. But they made him the highest paid position player in the game, and 3 or 4 months in to his first year, he's hurt, and maybe devastatingly hurt because of the nature of that specific injury on his toe. Now, we don't know exactly what it is because they haven't actually told us yet, but there's so much speculation, and if it's taken this long, it's not a grade 1 sprain of the big toe,
it's bad.
and it's just got some swelling on it. I mean, it's a serious issue that you even watch him when he's out there, he looks like he's not ready to run anytime soon, right? So the question is going to become whether or not this whole season is told, whether or not they have to worry about the surgery option, which, by the way, we're only really started getting speculative about him in his future because he mentioned that surgery might have to be an option at some point. Once you start saying surgery on a toe, then there is real concern. And because we also know that it's not always 100% effective. It's not like fixing your ACL. Mm-hmm. It's a different proposition when you got to fix those little ligaments underneath the toe. And that could be the issue. And if you're the Yankees, I mean, maybe if I'm just being alarmist and to a degree, but somebody in the Yankees organization is definitely saying, damn it, we should have done this earlier, and damn it, I regret giving him all this money if he's not going to be available, and more importantly, not the same player that we paid $300 and something million for.
All right, so we start the show on a happy note. There you go. All right, Tiki, 877-337-6666 is the number. I'll say this too, right? So when the Yankees charged out of the dugout at the end of Herman's perfect game.
Yes.
Right? I said the next day immediately, and I thought it immediately in real time. The way he kind of very cautiously joined the celebration, I'm like, that doesn't look like anybody who is near physically ready. So I don't know if he's coming back this year, but and if he does, I don't know, how long it takes him to get going. I don't know if he's like good early and then there's a setback. I don't know. Nobody knows. Judge doesn't know. Yankees don't know. So how the hell can we know? We don't know. But the only thing that I do know, at least pertaining to the question that Tiki asked me, no, I've got no buyer's remorse. I've got no regrets. When he's right, he's the best player in baseball. Obviously, Ohtani's right there as well. It's an unfortunate, very, very unfortunate circumstance because of those idiot Dodgers out there. But, there's really nothing else you could do about it. Nothing else you could do about it.
Yeah.
All right, we're inside of our Town Fair Tire studio. Friends at Town Fair remind you that you always get the guaranteed lowest price on name brand tires from Connecticut to Maine. Nobody beats Town Fair Tire. Nobody. What is so funny?
Dove was like, I just reminded him.
I know.
Town Fair.
I know. Dude.
Hurry up. Do it.
I mean,
now.
jeez.
Do it.
It's one thing for Dove to remind me to read the Town Fair, which, by the way, is right in front of me.
Yes.
I got you saying it. Everybody relax.
It's because he's telling me to remind you now.
Oh, jeez. I mean, really. I mean, Dove, there's 2 days left of the show. We could do nothing, and it's fine.
That's right.
Of course, we wouldn't do that.
Hey,
All
BT,
right.
how was your golf game yesterday?
I'm going to play today. Let's get to Mel in Brooklyn first up on the fan. Mel, what's going on, buddy? How are you?
What's up, Mel?
Yeah, hi. I'm listening to the station right now, and I'm hearing you guys saying that the Yankees are making they think they regretted giving Judge that big amount.
Well, now, hold on a second, Mel. I take issue with the term "you guys." It would be him. It would be Tiki. So please, he is your target.
My bad. He says that he thinks the Yankees will regret making that big contract with Judge. But he made a sensational catch that everybody praised him. It was an accident. It wasn't that accident that he got hit and he hurried home in a swimming pool, kicking a ball or something. He made a fantastic catch.
Yeah, he did.
So why would the Yankees regret anything of that?
Well, because everybody speculated that the injury bug, which we discounted, to be fair. We didn't really think he's injury prone. But the narrative against giving him a big contract was, he's good. He's always hurt. He's always hurt. Now, again, it's all circumstantial, but he's always hurt type of thing.
Well, they gave Trout a big contract. He's always hurt.
Of course he is. So you think the Angels regret it?
I don't know.
I mean,
They might.
if I'm the Angels, I absolutely would regret it. I would, because you're not winning anything with him. They've been to one playoff series 7 years
I
ago.
understand that.
They got swept.
Yeah. He's got like
3-0.
11 at bats and 8, 9 to whatever it is.
And the greatest player in baseball history, no, not really, but you know what I mean, of this era, and Mike Trout, because of all the MVPs and the runner-ups and MVPs, he hasn't helped them win. In fact, they've had one winning record, I think.
Yeah, but Judge has helped the Yankees win.
I understand. I'm talking about Trout.
No, I know, but the correlation, if we were going to incorporate Trout's contract and regret or whatever, I've got to give you the flip side, and Aaron Judge has won a lot of games for the Yankees.
He definitely has.
And broke a cherished record.
And box office appeal has been amazing.
Exactly.
But they got all of that, including the 62 home runs, including the 99 jerseys, including the 99 hamburger, which I had, by the way, on opening day.
Oh, yeah,
Number
I remember
99. All of that. They have all of that before they gave him $360 million.
That's true.
All that happened before he gets hurt in week 8 of the Major League Baseball season. All of that equity happened before. So it was very valuable because he was making nothing. What was the total he made in his first 6 years? Like $20-something million. It was ridiculous how little it was, given the production and the fame and the eyes that he brought. Then they give him the money, and he's unavailable. I mean, somebody somewhere is saying, man, that sucks.
Well, Brian Cashman should be saying that, because if Brian Cashman didn't tell us what he turned down on opening day, maybe it would have saved $30-40 million.
That's a great point.
Would have been an easier route. And maybe if Hal and Brian Cashman would have been a little more proactive before that, and then they would have been able to circumvent this stuff, and maybe they would have saved $80 million.
Yep, get modern. Pay a guy before arbitration runs out.
Yeah, which they did with Sevy and Hicks, and that didn't work out. But just because certain things don't work out, you can't be afraid to maybe try it again if you think it's a different situation. Here's the thing, though. And I know that you're not saying that the Yankees shouldn't have resigned Judge. I know you're not. No, I know you're not saying that.
Of course.
I know
it was the greatest thing they've ever done. And Judge earned every penny.
No question. But just imagine, because we see what the Yankees are without Aaron Judge. Imagine from opening day up until that Dodger game. Imagine what we would have. And let's say he went to the Giants, which we thought he was going to. For about 8 or 9 hours, whatever it was.
Offered him more money, right?
Yeah. So imagine if he was out west and we're watching this. Now, maybe they would have gotten Correa, or maybe they would have done something to spend some money. But just imagine these Yankees without Judge this season. They are what? A 74-win team?
Yeah.
Honestly,
maybe.
what are they?
Maybe. Yeah, they're flipped. They're flipped under 500 as opposed to over at this point. There's no doubt about it.
I think that, well, they're better than Stump Merrill's Yankees, but not a lot better. I don't think, not a lot better. 877-337-6666. Matt is in Waldwick. What's going on, Matty?
Hey, what's up, fellas? Loving the show. You guys are crushing it.
Well, good. It's ending, so hopefully it's.
Yeah, you got one more day.
I know,
One more day and a half.
Yeah,
or one more day and then three quarters.
And you'll crush it on the new shows as well.
Thank you. Appreciate it,
You guys
man.
all rock. Hey, Tiki, I couldn't disagree with you more about this.
Tell me why.
You don't regret signing a guy who goes all out, dives, breaks, hurts himself diving, hurts himself smashing into a wall. You don't regret signing a guy like that. You regret trading for a guy like, even though I kind of like Stanton, you regret trading for a guy like that who, hurts a hammy walking up to the tee box or hurts a lat swinging too hard. Like, you regret going for a guy like that because then you miss out on a guy like Bryce Harper the following year. And that goes to your point of being more lefty.
Yeah.
But you can't regret signing a homegrown guy who gives you everything, and we all were talking about, okay, we needed that next, I want to say he's Jeter, but that next leader of the team. And here he comes.
Of course, look, he's captain.
Guy.
He's captain, but it's
out,
are you captaining from the training table? I mean, you're not a captain if you're not in uniform. Well, he is kind of in uniform, but you know what I mean.
You play. Come on, you're an NFL.
It's a different calculation. It's a different calculation, Matt. And I'll tell you what. I used to tell Brandon Jacobs. Hold on, I'll tell you a story real quick. Brandon Jacobs, who was a monster, he basically was like Aaron Judge, so big playing running backs. Like, dude, you're a defensive end playing running back in the NFL. And every single time he would run the ball, he would try to destroy whoever tried to tackle him. And I used to tell him, I'm like, BJ, that extra yard or two that you're going to get is not worth the injury that's going to happen if you keep doing that. Right, so, and he stopped. Ultimately, he stopped trying to run over everybody. He'd do it but he picked his places. Right, it's the same situation. You know what I mean? It's like you're great. It's great until you're unavailable. And right now, Aaron Judge is unavailable. We have no idea when he's coming back, and when he does come back, we have no idea what he's going to look like. We have none. We have none. This is unprecedented in a lot of ways.
But he smashed into a chain link fence that you don't.
I'm not placing blame. I'm not placing fault. I give him credit, but we had this conversation. Appreciate you, Matt, in the pre-show meeting about Pete Alonso. The Mets might not, sign Pete. Pete Alonso is not going to get hurt playing first base. Promise you. He is not going to get hurt. What's he going to split too far? Right? He's not going to get hurt playing first base like Aaron Judge has consistently gotten hurt playing the outfield. From the intercostal thing that he had back in 17 or 18 to it almost always happens because he's an elite outfielder and plays like he's 200 pounds as opposed to 280. You know I'm right.
No. I don't know that. I don't think that. I think that.
Where are all those Yankee fans that were
Ugh.
saying at the time of the Judge contract negotiation, he's always hurt. He's always hurt.
No.
Now he's hurt.
Maybe there's some more callers. I mean, so far they're saying that they don't agree, but I'm sure there's some people out there hearing, what you're saying, and they're like, yeah. He's not necessarily wrong. 877-337-6666. Tiki and Tierney on the Fan. We'll get to Saquon's situation a little later, which suddenly might not be so promising. Tiki and Tierney on the Fan.